I found a hidden room in my husband's office. What I discovered inside destroyed me. I, 32F, have been married to my husband, Ethan, 35M, for 7 years. He's a quiet, organized man. The kind of person who never leaves his coffee mug out of place and always triple checks the locks before bed. We've had what I thought was a stable marriage. No huge fights, no secrets, or so I believed. Ethan works as a financial consultant, and he has his own office downtown. I've only been there twice. Once when he first opened it, and once to drop off lunch a few years ago. He always told me it was boring, full of paperwork and clients, so I never questioned it. Until 3 weeks ago. That day, Ethan came home looking shaken. He said someone had broken into his office, but nothing was stolen. He brushed it off, saying, just some kids messing around. But something about his tone felt off. His eyes wouldn't meet mine. Later that night, he fell asleep early. I went to grab his jacket to hang it up and noticed a small brass key in his pocket. It looked old-fashioned, not like a modern office key. I asked him the next morning what it was for. He froze, then smiled and said, "Oh, it's for an old filing cabinet my landlord left. Nothing interesting, but I knew that wasn't true." Ethan never forgets anything. A few days later, I drove to his office during my lunch break. I knew his schedule. He'd be out meeting clients until 3 p.m. His building was quiet, almost eerie. When I walked in, his secretary wasn't there. I felt like I was trespassing, but my gut told me to keep going. I opened his office door. Everything looked normal, perfectly organized, as always. Then I saw it. Behind a tall bookshelf, slightly ajar, was a narrow wooden door. Something I swear hadn't been there before. My hands were shaking as I used the brass key. It clicked. The door creaked open, revealing a hidden room barely big enough to stand in. Inside, there was a single desk, a dim lamp, and dozens of photo frames hanging on the wall. Every single one of them was of me, but not recent photos. Old ones, from before we met, from my college years, from social media accounts I had deleted years ago. Some looked like they were taken without me knowing. There were printed emails, screenshots of text messages, even childhood photos of me with my parents. And in the middle of the wall, a photo of us on our wedding day. Under it, written in marker, "The day I made sure she'll never leave me again." I felt my chest tighten. My hands went numb. On the desk, there was a notebook. I opened it, page after page of Ethan's handwriting. It wasn't financial notes. It was a journal about me. Entries like, "She smiled at the cashier today. I need to remind her who she belongs to. I hid her old friend requests. She doesn't need anyone else. She said she missed her dad. Maybe it's time to make her forget him completely." I wanted to throw up. Then I heard footsteps. I barely had time to close the door when Ethan's voice echoed from the hallway. "Babe, what are you doing here?" I froze. My mind screamed lie. I came to surprise you with lunch," I said, holding up the takeout bag I'd grabbed on the way. "Thank God." He smiled faintly, but his eyes darted toward the bookshelf. "You didn't move anything, did you?" I shook my head. My voice cracked when I said, "No, of course not." He walked up, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "You shouldn't be here without me." I swear I felt a chill crawl down my spine. That night I couldn't sleep. He was calm, humming while brushing his teeth like nothing happened. But I knew he knew. When he fell asleep, I packed a small bag, grabbed my passport, and left. I drove 4 hours to my sister's place. The next morning, I called my friend who's a lawyer and told her everything. She told me to contact the police, and I did. They searched the office. The secret room was there, but everything was gone. Every photo, every note, every trace of what I'd seen. The officers looked skeptical. They said, maybe it was just old stuff he stored away. No one believed me, not even my sister. She said I sounded paranoid. But I know what I saw. For a week, Ethan kept calling and texting me, saying he just wanted to talk. Then one day I got a message from an unknown number. It was a photo of me sitting in my sister's kitchen, the same shirt I was wearing right that moment. The caption said, "You can't hide from me. You're my story now." I dropped my phone and screamed. We changed locations again. I deleted all my social media, changed my number. It's been 6 months. I haven't seen him since. But sometimes I still feel like someone's watching me. Every few weeks I get a blank envelope in the mail. Inside, there's only a photo of me from behind, taken recently. The last one was from yesterday. It was me, standing in line at the grocery store, and behind me, blurred in the photo, was Ethan. TL:*DR. Found a hidden room in my husband's office filled with pee.